Filming yourself is so awkward. Hi guys, welcome to our first Creative Toolbox. Today we're talking all about concert photography tips. So the first thing is equipment, and I will be the first photographer to tell you that you do not need the latest and greatest equipment to be successful. Sometimes I'm in that photo pit and I see these guys with 3 different camera bodies, their telephoto lens strapped to them, and they can barely move. And so that's just not my style to photograph, and I just want to assure you guys that you do not need the best equipment in order to get a good concert photography shot. But with that said, you do need a camera that you can have complete control over the settings. Oftentimes, especially when you're indoors and there's that light show, the light changes every 2 seconds, and so you cannot go into the photo pit thinking one setting is going to do you good. You have to be able to have complete control over it and change it as the light changes. That's just how it is. And as far as lenses go, that's going to be a whole other creative toolbox because there's so much to say, but I would say if you can invest in a good zoom lens where you can get a nice wide and, you know, not super telephoto, but my favorite is the 18-135. That baby is on my camera 90% of the time when I'm doing concert photography, and it's been with me since the beginning, and I love it. It's actually the one I'm using to film right now, or else I would show you guys. So maybe in the future I'll use a different lens so you guys can see what I'm talking about. My second tip for you guys is to get to know your camera inside and out. Invest in those basic courses, online classes, take a workshop or 2. This will be good for any kind of photography you want to do, but you especially have to be comfortable with your equipment when going into the photo pit, because a lot of people don't know, but there are very strict time limits in photo pits. Oftentimes you are only given 1 to 2 minutes. Yes, that's 60 to 120 seconds in the photo pit to get your whole gallery done, especially for headliners at the end of the concert, because they've got a lot of photographers they have to rotate too, and you have to be very smart on how you shoot, and you have to be very comfortable with how you shoot when you get in that photo pit, because once your time is up, it's up, and then that's all you have to get to work on. And a bonus tip is skip the flash and bump up your ISO. If you're not familiar with ISO, we'll talk about that in a future tutorial or a future creative toolbox, but for those that do or maybe a little bit more advanced, always skip the flash and bump up your ISO. Guarantee you're gonna have so much better results just with that little simple tip alone. My third tip for you guys is to practice. This is a unique form of photojournalism, and it takes some practice. It took me a while. I've probably been doing concert photography professionally for 4 years now, and there's still things that I learn and are more aware of now, but you might not get the best shots right away, and that's okay. Just like anything in photography, you have to just get to know your style, what to look for, what to be prepared for. So I would go to any local coffee shops that you have, any concerts you can go to, a local friend that's playing even in a garage, any kind of local show. Go and photograph anything you can photograph. The fourth tip is maybe a little bit more for the advanced photographer, is to be intentional with your shooting. When I'm in the photo pit and I see somebody just taking hundreds of pictures on their, continuous shooting, it kind of screams amateur to me. Maybe that's a good way to start for you guys when you're in, the adrenaline's pumping, you only got 60 seconds to get those perfect shots, but trust me, in the long run, it works so much better if you take a second or 2 just to set up your lighting and to get that shot. And then also, when you get more intentional with your shooting, you'll be able to get a lot more variety, believe it or not. And my last tip for you guys is, once you are comfortable with your camera, you have quite a bit of experience in your belt, you're getting to the point where you're more intentional and you're growing your portfolio, then take your 15 or 20 best images that you've done and put them in a portfolio, whether print them out, put them on your phone, put them on a web gallery. Just get your best shots you've ever taken, get them in a gallery, and then this is where you have to do the work. No one's gonna come into, I know we all wish we just posted on Facebook and then the band saw it and I was like, oh, I want them to photograph for me, for me from now on, but it just doesn't work that way, or it's very, very rare that it works that way. You have to seek them out. So research your local publications, research your local websites that support concert photography, and submit your work to them. I hope these tips were helpful, and I want to see your work. So once you've done a few concerts, send them to me. If you're curious to see some of my work, I'll post a gallery that I recently did. There will definitely be a part 2 to the concert photography because there's a lot to look for, but I hope this is a good launching point for you guys. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye!